Good evening. I'm Tim Smith, voice of the Collin County Crash, and I'm here with Crash star wide receiver Travis Teague. Travis, thank you for taking some time to be with us here today. How the heck are you, man?
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me on. I wasn't surprised you guys hit me up. It was random, but it's definitely good to talk.
Well, why not? We got to sit with Monte last week, and then he went out. He had a big game, and you had a big game last week, so we might as well get you on here too and let the Collin County Crash fans know a little bit about and more who you are. Now, Travis, you played quarterback in high school and college as well, and since your time at Texas College, you've been a star wide receiver, jumping on the scene early with one-handed catches in the back of the end zone, really mossing everyone as you entered the 8-man and arena leagues, as well as 11-man. I've had the opportunity to be on the same team, and we've worked together on the offense. Tell me a little bit about your football journey and how you went from quarterback to receiver and to what you are doing now.
Well, as a quarterback, how the journeyman, ventures kind of be. But I come from a big family. I'm the oldest of 6, so like the leadership qualities have always kind of been instilled in me since a young age. So QB was just the position that I gravitated towards, and it was real natural. But in high school, it was so serious, and come out of DeSoto and big time football. I tore my shoulder, I broke my clavicle senior year, so that deterred my college runnings, which I had Mississippi State and Tennessee and all types of good stuff on the board and stuff. So I had this notion of where I was going to be and where I wanted to be, but injury put a damper on that between physically being able to get where I wanted to be, or where I was, and me being such a pet peeve and perfect at my craft. Like after the injury, I just couldn't mentally perform to my standard, to my old standards, right? So the receiver position comes in. After high school, I sat out a good year. I went to Texas College and was just taking classes as a student. I was sitting there, I had the fire in me. I was like, I can go out there and play QB right now, right? But that just wasn't what it was. So I did class and whatnot. I came home and I found the semi-pro field. And receiver is something that I always dabbed into. Being from Chicago, we didn't have football all year long, so we would always have to hoop in the winter. We'd always have to do different things. So coming from Chicago to Texas, that's when I was able to flourish in my football career specifically. So making the transition to receiver, it's always kind of been in me, and I really enjoy the receiver position. One, it's real natural, but there's not so much heat. The great receivers have a great IQ and a great mental towards the great game, right? Reggie,
Sure.
Reggie doesn't have to all the greats don't have to run 4.4s and 4.3s, right? They just have a good IQ, know how to find zones, have great hands, and just a great feel for the game, right? Which leads me to the Crash. I have a great feel for the Crash and Lauren. But position-wise, receivers just real natural. So after my injury and finding the semi-pro league, I was playing quarterback my first year. I probably had about 15, which led me to find my team, DeSoto Tarantulas, where we went to nationals and whatnot. That's how I found them. But I was playing QB. I probably had 15 touchdowns and 8 receiving touchdowns. So I was mixing it up, but that spiced it up. But after that year, I took it serious and I went receiver and teamed up with DG and the DeSoto Tarantulas and actually made a run. So my first year, we won a national, and it's just been good vibes at the position.
Okay, so you certainly made the most of it. As I've been able to see most of your career as wide receiver. Obviously, Vern was your quarterback, I believe, that year with DeSoto, and you guys were rolling. You were scoring 40, 50 points a night, and you're a hard guy to cover, especially down in that red zone. I always likened you to a Mike Evans, and it's been great for you in arena as well.
Yeah, no, exactly. I love that
So,
comparison.
a lot of guys didn't know, Travis, that you have ties to Chicago, as do I. Why don't you talk about that just a little bit? Because I think most people think that you're from Texas.
Yeah, that's actually very funny. So my dad actually graduated from Hoffman Estate. Like he actually attended Hoffman
That,
Estates,
that's
and
where I
he attended
graduated from.
Schaumburg High School, where my dad was a
Oh,
huge track star. So he wasn't a football guy, but he was very competitive and militant. So sports was always instilled in me. But being from Chicago, it's a little different and kind of rugged. You can't predict seasons,
well,
weather
no.
wise, you cannot predict anything. So it's like, we appreciate just to be out to play football. So coming to Texas, it was just like, man, everything ramped up, and it was like a huge game to me. It was like a huge arcade. Like, there was so much stuff available to me. So it was a good move. But I really liked coming from the city to Texas and, finding myself
Okay.
athletically
So
wise.
last week you had a really good game, especially on those third downs. You were the one Lauren was looking for on those big third downs over the middle, outside the numbers on the hooks and comebacks. Talk to me about what you expect moving forward, and talk to me about free agency. You were not part of the Denton crash. You've been part of the prime for the last couple seasons. How did you end up back with the crash and Lauren?
So I did with Lauren. So I really didn't have any. I've had my stints, I've had my runs and stuff, right? So I was really content with my body of work that I've put together. Because being out here, I'm just doing it for the love of the game right now. I'm really not expecting to take anything from. I'm not looking to take anything. Um, in regards to like venture wise, like I just know it's gonna come to me. Like if I stay true and I'm just out here playing and allowing my son to watch me and staying healthy and keeping my mental together, I know it'll things will gravitate towards me. And that's kind of how it's always been. But getting with Lauren and them, I was just working and stuff, and I've been getting my miles in and I've been working out. But some defensive guys hit me up, so said, and some offensive guys hit me up, and Lauren didn't know anything. The day that I reached out to Lauren, one of our pro highlights was shared through somebody through the grapevine, right? And it just like, yeah, it just kind of like sparked a little something. So I people like kind of hit me up. It's like you should hit us up. We're new and stuff, and I've already known about the organization, and I already know, from the top down, between owners, players, and coaches and stuff. Like I have personal relations with all of them. So I knew it was gonna be a good fit, but coming over was a very good decision. I didn't have any, I wasn't looking for too much out of the minor league field right now, but coming out to Collin County, like I really appreciate it. I really appreciate Lauren, because even getting back with Lauren in the game, me and Lauren have played in pro games. We've played in minor league games. We've won a national. Just getting back in the game with Lauren, like our IQs are there to where me saying I appreciate Lauren. Like Lauren has handed me the keys, like offensively. And that's when I perform the best is, not Travis, you are the team, but Travis, like show us, like we'll give you the keys and everybody else should follow, right? And that's just like you said, third downs, which to me, and I love the Mike Evans inference, to me, like first downs and like setting the tone is where it's at, right? So like first down, I get first down balls, right, just to set us up. But third down, like you can always depend on me. Like when we need something, like I'm going to the ground. Like I'm playing through the ground. I'm catching balls. Like I'm not just like I've my film and my body of work definitely speaks. Like because with me individually, like I'm putting my body on the line and I'm like coming through. So it's me, like play highlight wise, like all my stuff that I feel like makes me different from all athletes right now. It's like I don't have to get schemed open to get a touchdown or a highlight. Like no matter the scheme, the play, like no matter the matchup, if it's one-on-one, there's two people on me, like, Lauren will have the trust and like he'll throw that ball up and there'll be two. Our first game, three people, and he'll give me shots and he trusts me completely. And when I have that trust instilled in me, like I'm coming through, and I really appreciate it. And it definitely shows. Like last week, I was coming off of an injury, so last week I probably played at 80%. But there's times this year, like I've gotten 12, 14 targets. Like we played the Crusaders a couple weeks ago, and at halftime I came to Lauren and me just laughing and being funny, like we were so fluent in the game. Like I came to Lauren, I was like, dude, like we're 7 for 7. Like, I have 7 catches, no drops. You have like
that's a good place to be.
And we were just like in one half. So, that just sparks me and like, the motivation of like, if I can get 7 catches, like what else can we do?
Sure.
If I can get 2 touchdowns, like how much farther can we like, push this in like a positive way without,
Yeah. So it's been a good fit. It's been a good fit all the way down, sounds like.
Definitely.
What are you doing outside of football? What sort of aspirations do you have at this point, and what hobbies do you have off the field?
Man, hobbies wise, I'm just into business. So I'm running a couple businesses. I've done Clutch Performance Auto Detail for at least 7 years, which this is what keeps me in the football community is, just the camaraderie and all the people that, you get involved with. A lot of people, so my Clutch Performance Auto Detailing, a lot of our football community is like got me going. Like I did all the groundwork, but when it comes to like actually setting like contract, setting like appointments and even like contracts through different businesses and stuff, a lot of it comes to our football community, which is what I really appreciate. So outside of football, I do Clutch Performance Auto Detailing.
How can they get in touch with you for that?
I have a Facebook page. We're on Instagram.
Okay.
We have so much content to where now it's like, just shoot us a message and we'll make something shake. We have a residential detail service to where we're power washing and we're even cutting yards and doing all maintenance specifically. But I would like to highlight a venture that I started last year. I have a page going. I'm only on Twitter right now, and it's Clutch Theory, Sports Bets, and Podcast. And this is a venture that I was thinking all into sports bets because of like statistics and how I can stay in the sports field, right? And like, basically create content, basically over sports because, we love sports. But I was going to make it over like, sports bets and props and money lines and all good stuff. But to be honest, I appreciate, just as we're doing now, like I appreciate the sports like context. Like so much more that like, I'm talking everything. I'm talking baseball, I'm talking football, I'm talking basketball. So it's just a broad media, cast of just sports in general, which, I appreciate. I'm not looking for anything out of it. It's just, getting people involved and, giving people different sparks. Cause, I don't know. People have their bias on sports and whatnot, but
sure.
It's a great time to be a sports fan.
Well, good luck with that, man. We've been doing the QB Huddle for 2 years, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun.
No,
so good
definitely.
Good luck with that. Best of luck.
Definitely
for sure.
a great product. Definitely a great product.
So let me talk to you about these last couple of weeks, Travis. You got a big game this weekend with the Dragons, one more game with the Bounty Hunters, and then you're into the playoffs. What is the focus right now as you are hitting the back stretch and headed into this playoff run?
Good question. So focus-wise, we've tried to be vocal in the groups and whatnot and together. So teams have motivation of, let's take it one game at a time and everybody's different and stuff. But what I like about this team here is we have guys that have won national championships. We have guys who won league championships. And we also have guys who haven't won like anything, So
hungry.
It's up to us, the guys. We have defensive guys, there's so many, there's a good team that's been put together between, Set and LD all the way down to the line. And even offensively, like the experience of Monty and even Lauren having that, winning actual league championships and me coming together. So it's like everybody in different positions bringing our experience together to, show these other guys like, one, we can do it. Like, no, you can do it, right? Two, and it's like to bring them the experience. So now it's kind of like we have a notion of where we know we're going to go. Now it's the fact of actually doing it. So I don't feel like it's the act of taking it one game at a time. It's just completely staying locked in and be focused on what we're actually going to do, because, doing and, just thinking and wanting to do it is completely different. But just the act of action. So we're just trying to stay focused and just pinning in all three phases. Like, we're not worried about showboating right now. Like, we've had a game this season where we put up 30 points in the first quarter. And, I feel like that's great numbers. Like, our tempo is amazing in camaraderie, but, we still need it. Like, as high as we can feel, like we still need to be locked in and stay focused to think about, championship game, then going off to Florida. Like, we have guys in here who haven't even thought about Florida, but Florida's on my mind for sure.
All right. Well, that's always a good aspiration. And man, you know what I always say, when the playoff starts, that's when the real season begins. The regular season is just kind of a warm up. If you know, you know. So good luck to you this week, Travis.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time out. I had a lot of fun catching up with you, man. It's been a while since we've been able to talk. I'm looking forward to seeing you and the Crash take on the East Texas Dragons this Saturday night. Be sure to catch the Collin County Crash take on the East Texas Dragons this Saturday at 7 o'clock at C.W. Worthington Middle School in Hazlet, Texas. Or you can catch the live stream on the New Era Media page on YouTube. Travis, best of luck to you this weekend, man.
Yeah, no, thank you, boss. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.